Waterloo Sunset, Ray Davies. In this lesson, we're going to take a look at really just kind of the campfire way of playing it, and frankly, this is the way Ray plays it. If he were to play it just by himself, it doesn't include the cool little licks like that, or any of the passing bass stuff that happens, that is really done with the bass while he just strums chords in there. But what we're going to do here is just go through the chord progression as if you were playing this by yourself and wanted to sing it, because it really is pretty simple. It's just a bunch of chords in the key of E. Actually, only a couple. 4, I guess. So we need an E chord, played standard E position, first, second, and third fingers. We need a B7 chord. Now you could play Bs in here as well, but you'd have to play them as a full bar, but B7 works fine, and this is what he does when he's playing it by himself, or when he's just strumming the guitar and singing it. So B7 is, of course, 5th string at the 2nd fret, 4th string at the 1st fret, 3rd string at the 3rd fret, 2nd fret, and the 1st string at the 2nd fret. Then we also are going to need an A chord, 3 fingers at the 2nd fret, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings, and then F sharp minor, full bar at the 2nd fret, and your 3rd and 4th fingers on the 4th and 5th strings at the 4th fret. Now, we will introduce the descending bass line that he plays here. And we'll talk about that as it happens in there. But what's happening there is the note on the 4th string is dropping a half step each time, but I'll break that down a little bit more as it happens. So first we'll just talk about strumming through it with the chart that I have there. Just shows you the chords, very simple strum. Down, 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 up, down, up. The downs by themselves would be quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and down, 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 up, down, up. And again, the big key to changing chords is you're going to let go of that chord on the last up just before you go to the next chord. So I'm going to go from E to B7 to A, 2 measures of A, and those 4 measures are repeated. Now in the second line, we get to F sharp minor, have a whole measure of that. And in the second measure, I have F sharp / E sharp. Now, that's telling us that we need an E sharp as the bass note for this chord, but we're not actually going to play it in the bass. We're going to play it kind of in the middle, on the 4th string, by changing the 4th string on our F sharp minor chord from the 4th fret, an F sharp, to the 3rd fret, an E sharp, which could also be called F. There's a kind of theoretical reason that we're calling it E sharp here, and then we're going to call the next one E natural, but that's the kind of stuff I talk about in the Acoustic Genius series, where I have all the elaborate stuff in the target program. So try to keep the theory out of these to not confuse people too much. So anyway, so we got F sharp minor, and we add the E sharp in the middle bass by, again, using your 2nd finger to go to the 3rd fret of the 4th string. Then we take that finger off for the F sharp minor with an E in the bass, and then a measure of B7. And then the last 4 measures are the same as the first 4. So that's how all the verses go. Dirty old river must keep you rolling, flowing into the night. People so busy, makes me feel dizzy. Taxi light shines so bright, but I don't need no friend. As long as I gaze on Waterloo sunset, I am in paradise. Now, as we go into the chorus, we're going to go to F sharp minor, and every 2 beats, try not to squeak so much when I say that, every 2 beats, the bass note is going to change and drop in the scale this time, going through notes in the E scale. So we have our F sharp minor for 2 beats, and then we add an E in the bass by hitting the 4th string at the 2nd fret. Then we need D sharp in the bass. So I come get the D sharp on the 1st fret of the 4th string with my index finger, with first finger, and then restore the bar with my 3rd finger to get that. This is really an F sharp minor with E in the bass, with D sharp in the bass, sorry. And then we need C sharp in the bass for the next measure, or for the next half a measure. We put the F sharp minor back on, but just hit the 5th string in the bass. So what that sounds like, those two measures, you want to hit bass notes before you strum. I hit the F sharp on the 6th string. Now I open up, I take my 4th finger off and hit the 2nd fret of the 4th string for the E in the bass. Then I rearrange my whole chord to go get the D sharp on the 1st fret of the 4th string, hit it in the bass, and then flatten out my 3rd finger to get the 3 notes at the 2nd fret, and then back to the F sharp minor, hitting the 5th string in the bass, and then do a B7 chord, and do an E chord. Now, a couple of passing bass notes, hitting an A and a G sharp, these are completely optional, and actually everything I'm talking about in here is really optional, because you could just do this. Every day I look at the world from my window. A chilly, chilly is evening time. Waterloo sunsets fine. 4 measures of B7. So that would be the easy way to do that. But if you want to get it a little fancier, you want it to sound like this. Every day I look at the world from my window. And that A to G sharp was just a single note on the open 5th string and then another note on the 4th fret of the 6th string, leading us into the F sharp minor again. Chilly, chilly is evening time. Waterloo sunsets fine. So that's all you have to do to play the campfire version of Waterloo Sunset. Now, I have a more extended version of this in the Target program at Totally Guitars, and if you'd like to check that out, come over there and see it. And what we talk about in there is playing the intro. And some of the fills as we sing in there. So throwing in some of that kind of stuff, throwing in some of the other passing bass notes that happen in the song. So a little bit more authentic version there, but it's a lot more complicated. So just wanted to get through really basic campfire version here, and I hope you enjoy that and enjoy playing Waterloo Sunset.